Morty, again, projectile-heavy matchup. So, you know, I think Shaggy's going to have a little bit of a rough time getting in there. But, you know, the kill power on Shaggy is always scary.
Yeah, and that like you always have to worry about the fact that you might get knocked out at like 30 against Shaggy. And that's something that Sice has done more. He's been using rage cancel movement options. He calls it the Sice dash because he's one of the first people to like make a video about it, so he's trying to claim it early. Okay. But it's a way to trip people up when you try to go punish rage, and it's a pretty solid tactic. But that being said, though, BoneShackles already setting up the zoning game. Something Sice can struggle with sometimes is getting too aggressive when people are more patient than he is. Yeah,
and I think that's a big trap with good Mortys is they set up all the bombs so that when you, like just right there, when you do try to get too aggressive, you know, when you play enough, you kind of know when people are going to start to jump in.
Yeah. And this is a game entirely based on all defensive habits only. There's no shielding and stuff, so you're just you're trying to bait people on movement. And zoners have such a good way to control tempo because of that. I think Morty is in that same category, but Morty is going to get set back. And one cool thing that we do for our ones, though, is that we do 3 stocks each because stocks fly and people are learning how to knock each other out really quick now.
Yep, I think the meta is just going to gravitate towards that. I think people are getting better and better by the day.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I think that this, you know, this game, as strong as twos is, we have done some twos. It's harder to get more people to come out for twos consistently. But ones also shows it has a very solid place in what could be a good meta in the future.
BoneShackles getting some pretty cool conversions off the grenades. Like I said, I haven't seen too much Morty play, so this is interesting. I believe, wasn't there the one... there's a way to make Morty's bombs like way bigger, the area of effect. Is that a perk or is that one of his abilities?
If I remember correctly, it's one of his perks, but also just in general, it's even if you don't use that, they control so much space regardless that Shaggy's always a linear-based approach style character. He has to run through them, and that's what BoneShackles is trying to do. He's trying to like force him to jump in, but Sice just realized I have a lead, so I don't really need to approach you, which is good because normally he does struggle in this aspect. That down there is still not enough. Jeez. That was Taz's trick. That was definitely Taz's trick that kept him alive.
Yeah, Morty's really struggling to kill right now. He can't hit the hammer. Like all of his kill moves are kind of hard reads. Up air, that hammer. And yeah, he's just there. It is. Yeah. So the up air takes it 90% though. That's going to be a little rough, especially when Shaggy can pretty much kill you with like 3 moves right now.
Yeah, you're getting knocked out like ASAP. That does help. That's actually one of the best things you have for disadvantage, even though it's a long cooldown, because like Shaggy is one of those people that relies heavily on you making a mistake on a dodge or catching you with that. That's 2 now, yeah.
He hangs on the edge a little bit too much. I feel like he had a couple opportunities to get up there.
He has a similar pattern in how he does it too. He like fades up and then down and up and down like twice before he goes to the corner. He has to mix up his timing on that, because if you're the same out of disadvantage every time, you get wall fatigue. They can hold you.
Oh God, he's getting beat up right now. 62%. Yeah, Shaggy's so good just boxing game. I think really there's only a couple characters in this game that can outbox Shaggy.
Yeah, the like Batman, Jake to a degree, and sometimes Bugs. It just depends on how good the Bugs is at lining up his downer mix-ups. But otherwise, Shaggy, he doesn't really have a losing matchup. Like it's
honestly.
He has it's questionable that Batman might beat him, and I could see it. Rain Dog might also be a slight problem, but that knockout potential so strong. I think Morty has a good case for it too. It's just Morty is like so heavily reliant on setup that when you're behind like this, it's been such a struggle for BoneShackles to find like anything to make Sice scared so far.
Exactly. He just can't seal it out, you know, like at 86%, if I'm the Shaggy player, I'm still just like, all right, I'm okay to like go in and try to, you know, fish for this kill a little early. Because I know like unless he gets some hard read, I'm not going to die from it. But like the Morty, anytime you're at 90%, now you just really have to play safe and struggle. And when all your kill options are off reads, it's kind of hard to get that.
Yeah, I mean it's not looking so hot right now, but I will say I think I'm liking BoneShackles going into game 2. I like the way that he's been playing more. That is such a good answer. More people, or more Shaggies are starting to use that neutral special version in Rage more, because it's basically a parry that's a hard knockback move.
Pretty much.
That's going to be game number 1 going to Sice.
3 stocks to 1. He was definitely doing better at the end there. I think just the central issue, he's putting on damage. I'm curious to see like what the damage is. but they just skipped right past it.
Yeah, it went away, but there was definitely a solid 100+ damage difference between the two, and I think he's gonna have to work on that. Now I do, if I remember correct. Okay, he's not gonna pick that. I think I saw BoneShackles playing some Harley against people off stream as well. So maybe, but no, we're gonna stick with the Morty. So what do you think? Like, you have 2 bans, by the way. There's no Scoobies.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, Scooby's completely banned. There's no DSR at the moment. We're thinking about maybe adding it later, but we only have 6 stages right now, so it's kind of like...
I don't see a reason for it.
Yeah, that was crazy on BoneShackles' part. So, Shaggy's love Tree Fort. All of them, because you get knocked out at 30 off of 1 mix-up. It's not even just like you can make a guess and hope to
I'm
leave.
shocked he brought him here. There's got to be something like I'm sure there's a pretty good stage for Morty too, but...
I think it's solid for Morty's knockup potentials off the bottom. But I think if you're going to go for something like that, I would rather you go to something like Chroms, because it's going to make it harder for him to knock you out off the top, and the lower blast zone helps. But you have been knocked out on the lower blast zone too, so it's like the trade-off here is definitely beneficial, unless he just wanted to cut off Sice's room to avoid the zoning, because this does kind of help in terms of keeping you next to grenades.
Well, pretty much every time BoneShackles has gotten a kill, it's been off the top. So I almost want to say he should have picked like Batman's Cave or something.
Yeah, kinda. That might be a better option, because you can at least get volley combos. It is still good for Shaggy, but it will help you, I think, for your same like end game while having less room on the sides, no platforms to him to try and mix you up on and get knockoffs up the top. Still, we're approaching 6 minutes and no stock is disappeared yet, but Sice has also taken like no damage.
He just keeps winning neutral over and over again, and yeah, like just stuff like that, just random knees and neutral airs just keep grabbing him. BoneShackles is hitting him, but it's not converting to any combos. It's just one attack here and there. Wow, actually gets out of the up B.
We don't need to fix that. We could. That's fine.
Yeah, all right.
But he's not gonna get the follow up he's looking for there, which is definitely gonna play against Sice, of course. Whoa. But that is gonna lead to a knockout right there. Sice taking the first lead again.
I don't think he realized that the shockwave was coming.
No, it's such a good move. It's been working so well. That is something you have to respect. Sometimes you think that you can just punish that, but you need to let that go through first, and then once they're out of the animation, then you can punish it.
I don't think anybody's really gotten the timing quite down of when it triggers yet, because Morty's still so new.
Yeah.
I find myself getting caught by that a lot.
You have to read the Morty too, because like you either read the Morty or you know the timing on when it ends, because when it ends by itself, you can just punish it.
Yeah.
But if they're triggering it, then that's on the Morty to make sure that they mix up the timing the most.
Yeah, he just, like, Shaggy's getting poked. See, like, 1 hit there, 1 grenade here, but every time Sice is getting him, like, it's a solid combo, and they're really adding up.
Sice is also making sure that whenever he goes for jabs, he realizes that you just fall out of the second one, so he's holding DI out with Taz Trig and dipping out. If I'm BoneShackles, I'm going for those 2, and I'm going for a dodge read out to go punish him for that and hit him with a down air. Or go for a grenade to punish that, or set up the earth bending to punish that. You got to mix it up.
Yeah, wow. This is...
Oh, you are brave for that. He's lucky. You are very brave for staying still.
This is getting... It's looking scary. He's got to close this out now to stand much of a chance the rest of this game. 96% is still scary if he closes it out. Ooh.
Wow, even here on
Batman's
trees.
Cave, man. All right, he still managed to get it. But yeah, I definitely think he should have picked the stage with a lower ceiling. Seems every single one of his kills has gotten.
Which is crazy considering this is a low ceiling too. Well, like the Batcave. I mean, I think honestly, Batcave or Trophy's Edge just makes so much more sense, because you have like they're not like Batcave is the smaller blast zone for sure. It's the smallest, but at least with Trophy's Edge, you have still more room to like zone out and play the timer. But I think Sice has just played the timer so well, and he read it that time. He's let him side B for free every other time.
Yeah, that was really good awareness. Yeah, he definitely saw it coming. Really good way to distinguish good players from great players is their ability to really like see the probability of somebody doing something. You know, to continuously find those those little player habits that are just kind of unconscious.
It's one of those things where, especially in a game where it's more continued controlled advantage versus like forcing defensive options all the time. If you can read people's defensive options regularly as they're recovering, you are going to be in a much better spot. That is not a move you want to challenge. Don't ever challenge that. No, you are going to lose.
I will say Sice is doing a really good job of not spamming the side Bs too. Damn, takes it from the up B. I think a lot of Shaggies can get pretty like closed in a box by spamming that, and yeah, most of the approach options there I saw were knees and neutral airs.
Yep. And I think that given a little bit of time, BoneShackles can figure it out. I think BoneShackles wasn't prepared for how patient Sice was going to play. I think that against most online Shaggies, that actually was a good game plan he had going. But Sice played passive because Sice has understood, he's fought a lot of retro with his Rain Dog. He's fought me and Zoo with the Batmans. So he understands, like, well, if I keep rushing against Projectile, I lose. And he actually gave a lot of respect to Morty once he had a lead. Because if you keep rushing it on Morty, that's how you take a lot of damage. Same way it's like fighting Snake.
Yep, exactly.
But now, it's your turn.
Oh, is it?
Yep,
oh, boy.
It's going to be you and Sage. So if you want to head up over...
Me and Sage.
You and G.
Oh.
You and G. I looked at the start and I read the second part.
Right,
It's autopiloted.
Who does G play?
That's Arya.
Oh, I hate Arya.
Have fun.
Oh, I hate Arya. Damn it.
Yeah, have a good time. Let's go get you situated. Also, yes, that is no, that's not Sage Tactics. This is our friend Sage from the Smash 4 days and Ultimate early, but he's a homie. He's now coming through. We got like 3 new people here today. I'm gonna go. Actually, yeah, it is exactly 3 new people today. So it keeps going up. We miss you, Daquan, and Rico, and I saw you earlier, and Eric. I see you there too. Zoo's gonna come back here and join me. Let me see who's who. It does.